are at a family gathering in the mountains in the Wyoming range, and I am doing a test between my hammock setup and my tent setup. I have been back and forth about which one I want to use the most, and this is the week to figure it out. So we'll be here for 5 days. So let's see, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. Okay, so 4 nights. I'm going to spend 2 nights in my hammock and 2 nights in my tent, and I'm going to find out which one I like better. When we got here, we set up the hammock first. That's where I'm going to sleep tonight. And it took 40 minutes. I put the hammock up in the bug net and the pod system underneath for the underquilt, and put my sleeping bag in it and put up a tarp. And all of that took me 40 minutes of getting the right hang and finding the right places to tie off the tarp and just situating everything so it'll be comfortable for tonight. I also set up my tent, and that took me 11 minutes. So on setup time, the tent wins. The hammock fails. It took quite a bit longer and was a bit more, just a lot more to it. Now, that'll just be part of it. I'll be using my Fitbit to see which nights I'm the most restless and which nights I get the best sleep. So, here goes. As far as my equipment, my tarp is from Outdoor Vitals. My pod system is also from Outdoor Vitals. And my bug net is also from Outdoor Vitals. I really like their prices and they've got good products. My hammock is an ENO, I can't remember exactly what it's called. I'll put that up there for you to read. And then over here, the tent is the One Man River Country Products. And that is the one that took all of 11 minutes to set up, all the staking out and all that. So that's what I'm using. I just realized, to be fair, I did not get my sleeping pad blown up and put in there, or my sleeping bag. So I'll have to time how long that takes and add that on to my 11 minutes. The first night is sleeping in the hammock, and I slept pretty well as far as shelter and bug resistant, and I've got my underquilt under me. It's like the same protection as the tent would have. We'll have to see how I sleep in the tent, because last night was pretty good. I'm on an angle, so head in this direction and feet. So I'm able to be pretty flat in here, and pretty good. I am not able to sync to my Fitbit yet because I don't have an internet connection, so I don't know like how restless the Fitbit will say I was. I did wake up several times to change position, and you get a little bit tangled up in your sleeping bag. I've got a quilt coming in the mail that I'm going to be trying, so maybe that'll fix that problem. But I did wake up to noises last night because we're in bear country, and so I made really sure that like I've got not the clothes we were cooking in, and all my food and stuff is packed away in the car, and if we'd have been backpacking it'd be in a bear hang or something. But so I woke up with noises, and I realized it's my husband in his hammock, like rolling over and getting comfortable. That's the noises I was waking up to. And then this morning I woke up to, I think it was a deer just walking right by me, but I couldn't see him. But I did like that about the hammock, that I could just go like this and see what's outside or on the other side too. But the tent, I don't have windows on all the sides, so that's a negative for the tent. I do like being able to see out. Something I like about the tent is that I can open my bag and kind of spread everything out and see where everything is. The hammock doesn't have that exactly, but it does have that ridge line up there that I can hang stuff from. I think that the tent, though, is my favorite way, just because everything's within arm's reach and I don't have to worry about chipmunks getting in it after I've zipped up the tent. And so I'd say that the tent wins on places for things. So last night was night 2, and I slept better than night 1. We went to bed about the same time. I did sleep in longer today. Went to bed worried about bears because we saw a bear a couple times yesterday, a black bear. So we got camp cleaned up pretty good, and but after the first initial worrying, I slept pretty good. The only times I woke up was when my hips were hurting or my legs were just not comfortable. One thing about the hammock is the sleeping bag is hard to, sometimes it's a little bit squirrely to get it right where you want it. So that's a negative. Tonight I'll try out the tent. Alright, so it's the morning of after the 3rd night. I stayed in my tent. It was a good night. I slept pretty well, but I did toss and turn a bit. So I'm anxious to see when I get home and my Fitbit uploads, like how much tossing and turning. I did sleep longer last night than the other 2 nights, I think because these walls don't let all the sunlight in, so it's a little bit of a darker environment. And when you're in the hammock, you're pretty much just still outside, so you wake with the sun. The walls gave me a false sense of protection. I didn't worry about bears at all last night, maybe because it's the 3rd day and we've all been fine, or today's the 4th day. That was the 3rd night. So, wasn't afraid of bears. Slept pretty good. Slept the longest of the 3 nights so far. What else? It rained and I stayed dry. I know I would have stayed dry in the hammock too. So, but I did stay dry. This is the River Country Products one-man tent, and I still don't have it seam sealed, but it was fine. What else about the tent? I've got a climate air pad, and it's R value of 4, so it insulated me from the ground. I was comfortable. It's plenty of cushion even when I sleep on my side. Do like having the pillow when I'm sleeping in the tent because you're just completely flat. The hammock it's comfortable. I think I just need to learn how to sleep in it, or maybe get the hang angles right, or I'm not sure. I need to mess with it, but I'm anxious to get home and look through these videos and chalk up all the pros and cons of each one. So, as far as sleep, I would say I probably slept about the same, just different things. I woke up more with a little bit of a tight back and shoulders, where in the hammock it's more that my legs kind of fatigue. I like waking up in here and being able to just stay in here to get dressed. I've been using my hammock and then coming in here to change, so I was just already in here. And it was warmer in here. Last night I took off my warm hat and warm socks and had to unzip my bag a little bit. It was definitely warmer. My backpack, I'll just go with the lighter one, because so far I'm not finding anything that's like, oh, I definitely like one more than the other. There's perks for both, I'm thinking. I really would like to see the data when I get home though. When I'm gonna stay in camp, I think I'm gonna like the tent better because of the privacy of changing. When we're backpacking, the privacy isn't such a big deal because we're alone in the mountains, but when you're camping where there's other people around, the privacy is more of an issue. You can change your clothes in the hammock. Have done that. Works okay. Not ideal, but it is doable. It is the morning after the fourth night, and I stayed in my tent again, and it was cold. My husband stayed in his hammock, and he said that his underquilt, which is a 20 degree, was the weak link, and he froze last night. So I'm kind of glad I stayed in the tent where I know that it's warmer, and my 4R insulated pad kept me warmer than that underquilt would have. I did come up with some inventions in the night for how I can stay warmer next time. Woke up to a bunch of condensation on the inside of the tent. That does not happen in a hammock, so there's a point for the hammock. Because this is a small tent, my sleeping bag was touching the the head of the tent where it's still just moist, so the head of my sleeping bag was moist, and this bag isn't down, so I would have been warm, but if it had been down, I'd be airing that out. But if it was rainy or something, you can't get that aired out, and you've got a wet bag that's not warm. So condensation's not a good thing. Back here where I've got mesh, that kept me from touching that side, and there wasn't condensation there. Slept okay. It's harder with a tent to get an extremely flat pitch, just because the ground is not level everywhere you go in the woods. So that's a plus for the hammock, that you can always get a level lay in your hammock. I'm sure anxious to find out what my Fitbit says, and I have no idea what temperature it was last night. I should have kept my thermometer? Yeah, thermometer in here with me. That last tally mark goes to the hammock, just because I felt like it has more give and it has the most potential to be comfortable. But you'll have to decide. I'm home now. I'm going over the data from my experiment, and I'm still not sure, because some of it was so kind of debatable. Some people are gonna like some things and some people aren't. Like my husband, when he goes, he swears by the hammock. He says he sleeps better in that than he does at home in his own bed. I hope that my videos inspire you to get out on the trail, whether with a tent or a hammock, or just for the day with a day pack. This was a fun video to make. I learned a lot, and I hope you did too. If you did, will you like this video and subscribe so that you can get the next ones. Thanks for watching.